journal for 5 minutes, like set a timer. And I actually thought that was very helpful.
That's good. So
what about you?
Yeah,
Did somebody give you excellent advice
like
this
no
week?
one likes advice givers, but like yeah, I think we can invite people to speak into our lives. Was about being non-self-defeating. In like, I have dyslexia, I have ADD, a little touch of ADD, so I can be excused from bad spelling and speeching and non-reading, those kind of things. Where this person actually said, you might have to work harder in other areas, but don't come into it as self-defeated. Because that's really just self-centeredness. Yeah.
Someone actually did give me that advice a couple of years ago about being like making self-defeating statements and being negative about myself.
Yeah, I get it in that context.
I really respect her, and so it was like kind of shocking the way she said it to me. Like
so what's an example?
Well, I spoke somewhere.
And you're like, oh,
and then
I'm not
afterwards
a good
I was like,
speaker.
I probably said something about, I rambled
I
too much in that spot. I went
Yeah.
off my notes, and she was like, you need to stop talking about yourself like that.
Mm-hmm.
And she was quite firm about it, and she's very gentle, so I really appreciate
it.
it.
I think that's great. And I think I think sometimes, especially for me in my context, is I actually go into situations maybe not as prepared as I like to think I am. So there's a lot of self there. So that's cool.
Preparation.
Right. What day? Are we on the 9th?
Yes, we are.
Panic.
I love panic.
This is what we've been talking about. Addicted to adrenaline, aka codependency, drama, chaos, panic. Here's a quote out of Codependent No More. Few situations, no matter how greatly they appear to demand it, can be bettered by us going berserk. I have to read that again.
Very few situations. It is a rare occurrence where going berserk actually will be beneficial to the situation.
I don't think I've seen berserk on paper. Okay, let me read that again.
You didn't know how that was spelled?
Few situations, no matter how greatly they appear to demand it, can be bettered by us going berserk. I think it's the same context as like there's no situation that alcohol can't make worse. So this is your context about going berserk.
It never, ever helps to lose my mind.
How do we get out the long ones?
You do.
Oh yeah, anyway.
Because you're good.
God's helping me.
Go.
Don't panic. If a swimmer was crossing a great lake, then suddenly focused too heavily on the distance remaining, he might start to flounder and go under. Not because he couldn't swim, but because he became overwhelmed by panic. Panic, not the task, is the enemy. Many of us have movements when we feel crowded and overwhelmed. Moments when we feel crowded and overwhelmed. We have times when we feel like we cannot possibly accomplish all that needs to be done. We may be facing a task at work, an improvement in ourselves, or changing in our family life. For a moment, it is helpful to look forward and envision the project. It is normal, when we look ahead at what needs to be done, to have moments of panic. Feel the fear, then let it go. Take our eyes off the future and the enormity of the task. If we have envisioned the goal, it will be ours. We do not have to do everything today or at once. Focus on today. Focus on the belief that all is well. All we need to do is reach our goal, is to focus on what presents itself naturally and in the orderly way for us today. We shall be empowered to accomplish peacefully what we need to get where we want to be tomorrow. Panic will stop this process. Trust and guided action will further it. Breathe deeply. Get peaceful. Trust. Act as guided today. We can get back on track by treading water until we regain our composure. Once we feel peaceful, we can begin swimming again with confidence. Keep the focus simple, one stroke, one movement at a time. If we can make one movement, we have progress. If we get tired, we can float, but only if we are relaxed. Before we know it, we shall reach the shore. Prayer for today. Today, I will believe that all is well. I am being led, but I shall only be led one day at a time. I will focus my energy on living this day to the best of my ability. If panic arises, I will stop all activity and deal with panic as a separate issue. Amen. Ooh, that's a good one. Especially in change. Change and being overwhelmed. I noticed that even yesterday when we got the announcement of reopening and 30% capacity at church, I started, like, I was like, yay! But then inside, I was hearing my yay, but then I was like, oh my goodness, there's so much I have to do and plan, and how are we going to organize it all? And I was I was panicked, and I
went for a nap.
Yeah, I did. More of a sleep than a nap, but yeah, nap's like 20 minutes. This was like 2 hours, and I just felt like I wanted to trap myself in my room, and I need to feel the panic. I like how it says we can stop for the moment and not continue moving forward, but even like tread water. I think that's cool.
I love that. I love that picture actually of treading water and then like floating. And sometimes I feel like I'm in a flotation season right now. Just floating. And like every once in a while I think like, oh, I need to start swimming again. But no, it's okay if I sleep until 9:30.
Is it? Or does that cause panic?
No.
Do you find that you invoke situations that cause panic?
I have in the past. Yes. Yeah. Very much so. I have in the past. And so the thing that I'm learning right now is to identify what's happening inside of me. And so what am I feeling? Why am I feeling it? Where is it coming from? Is there something I need to do about this? Like, is there something that I could do differently that would help me, prevent this happening again? Or is it something that I just need to like let wash over me? And because not everything is within my control, and I don't want to try to be in control of everything, but some things I feel like I need to let them kind of wash over me, and recognizing, I think oftentimes like recognizing where I'm not strong, but then also trying to learn to recognize where I am strong.
Panic, not the task. The task isn't the enemy. Panic is. And so panic will stop the process. So if our brain patterns have caused panic around us, whether it's like leaving your stuff in somebody's car, like the perpetual thing of doing these things that cause like, oh, where's my this? Or, oh my goodness. And you're getting involved in these fixing relationships. They cause panic. And that keeps us stuck. No different than the alcoholic or the drug addict creating this chaos that I always need a break from. And so my break is going to the bottle or going to the drug, and I never progress in life. I stay emotionally muted. I stay spiritually mutated, little. I never grow.
Right.
So then in recovery, we're progressing forward to spiritual fitness, to overcoming what used to enslave us. And so as I give my will and my life over to the care of God, I feel that I get in the way, panic gets in the way, these things, self gets in the way. And I think that's the beautiful part about this, is that it's not everything around me that needs to change, it's within me. And so I have to do that every day. I have to be cognizant of this daily exercise and practice of eliminating self and inviting God into all the situations.
Sometimes it feels more comfortable to just keep doing, or easier to keep doing what I've been doing. Like sometimes this feels hard and I just think like, ugh, it's too hard. Just whatever. Things were fine before.
Well, and that yeah.
But then I realized
that's
like,
awfulizing
no, but it really wasn't. Like,
progress. That's awfulizing sobriety.
Things weren't really fine before. Like, and I love the sentence, if we get tired, we can float, but only if we are relaxed. And before we know it, we'll reach the shore. And I think it's actually opens up like exciting possibilities of that life can be different.
Well, and part of reducing panic, or part of reducing stress, because when I get to a certain point, then I stop growing or I go back to addiction or whatever it is. Part of that is implementing spiritual practices. So morning devotional, listening prayer, listening to worship music, those things, engaging in fellowship, not social activity necessarily, but fellowship is, having a meeting or a discussion of a common problem with a common solution. And yeah, there's a purpose behind it. So those are all plans of action or courses of an action to overcome panic and change how our brain works. Yeah.
I want to say hi to Sam. Thanks for watching. Thanks for the shout out. Yeah, this is something that we used to do anyway on our own, and so it's kind of fun, kind of scary to share it with other people, but thanks for watching.